Shalom, shalom, Yasha Allah, shalom, Israel. Right, it's your brother, Raj, coming back with another video. All right, giving all honor and glory, praise to the Most High, Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shah. All right, shalom to the elect men out there, right, and you know the Akwathium, right, out there in the truth, right, reverencing their husbands, and if they're not married, hey, praising the Lord and serving them, right, as much as they can. Shalom to all the Yum, right, out there pushing the word in truth and in sincerity. And if they're not pushing the truth, right, they're staying deep in this world. Not deep in this world, Slohak, but deep in this word, right? So, as you can see from the title of the video, right, we're going to be going into basically a quick reminder of examine yourself, right? So, brothers and sisters should be examining themselves, every time they might fall, every time they might, come short of the glory of the Most High, every time, maybe once a week, Hey, me personally, I do it, at least once a week, sometimes 2 times a week, right? Of examining myself, right? So brothers and sisters should examine themselves, right? So first of all, let's get 2 Corinthians 13:5. I already got it pulled up, right? It says, examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Salakia. Right? It says, examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Right? So Paul, speaking through the power of the Most High and his only begotten Son, he's saying, examine yourselves. So we should take heed of this, right? Does it not say in 1 Corinthians 14 that if a man be spiritual, let him let's just pull it up. I don't want to butcher it, right? 1 Corinthians 14, right? So it says, let's see, right? So look. So, alright. So look. Verse 37, come. 1 Corinthians 14:37. If any man think himself to be a prophet or spiritual, if we're spiritual, we should do what? Let him acknowledge that the things I write unto you are the commandments of the Lord. So basically, it's almost a commandment, not from the law, right? Not from the law. It's not required, but it is, a command from the Lord that we should examine ourselves, right? If we think ourselves to be spiritual. And we Hebrew Israelites, we are spiritual, right? Most spiritual people on this planet, right? Thus saith Yahweh, right? So like, I'm just going to put some headphones in, right? Right? So let's go back to that, right? 2 Corinthians 13:5. Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Right? So examine yourselves, right? And how do you do that, right? Let's keep reading, right? And the faith is the truth, It says, prove your own selves, right? You got to prove yourself, right? Know ye not your own selves. Don't you know yourself better than anyone except for Yahweh, right? You know yourself. How that Yahweh Shah Mahashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates, right? So you gotta prove yourself. You gotta examine yourself, right? And let me just get some more precepts on that, right? Examining yourself, right? Let's go to Sirach 20, Slok 18 and 20, right? It says, before judgment, examine thyself, and in the day of visitation, right? In a day of visitation, thou shalt find mercy. So before judgment, examine thyself. Hey, judgment is already coming on the earth, right? Judgment is already coming to the earth. So in the day of judgment, before judgment, right, we got to examine ourselves. We gotta see, we gotta analyze ourselves. We gotta break down what we're doing wrong and what we're doing right. Separate those two, right? You could even make a pros and cons list of yourself, right? Pros, for example, right? Pros. Someone might say, yeah, I'm good at, remembering precepts, right? I'm good at, remembering precepts, reading. I'm doing that. That's good, right? And your cons might be, I'm not praying as much, right? Sometimes I'm participating in following madness too long, right? Those things could be your cons, someone's cons. Just an example, right? So, you know, brothers and sisters should examine themselves. You know, you could, um, basically the fundamental way of examining yourself is uh, analyzing yourself, right? Basically, put in put in yourself on the hot seat, right? As they'd like to say, putting yourself on the hot seat, right? To try you, basically, try yourself, examine yourself, see what you're doing wrong, how to ways to improve it, right? And see what you're doing right, and encourage those things and continue to do those things, right? Because every brother and every sister in this truth needs to improve on something. You know, people think just because we're out there teaching that we're some Mr. Perfect people, right? We're some perfect people. We're not, you know? We're not. We all come short of the glory of the Most High, right? We're not exempt from sinning now that we out there in the highways and byways, right? We're not exempt from sin. We still go off, So, in Sirach 18 and 20 says, before judgment, examine thyself, and in the day of visitation, thou shalt find mercy. So, you're going to find mercy if you examine yourself. So, let's go back to 2 Corinthians 13 and 5. Examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. Right? Are you really in this truth? Right? Examine yourself. Are you just in this truth for man? Right? Are you just in this truth just to be seen? Right? Are you in this truth just to, just be in a different group, just cause. Look, examine yourself. See if you're of the faith, right? Examine yourself. Prove yourself, right? Are you really with this, right? Ask yourself that, And if you're not, hey, try to, find ways to improve. If you are, then also try to find ways to improve in this truth, right? And it says, know ye not your own selves, how that Yahushua Mahashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates. And what is a reprobate? Let's look that word up. What is a reprobate? It says, an unprincipled person, often used humorously, or affectionately, right? So basically, okay, let's get some synonyms. It says rogue, rascal, good for nothing, right? So basically a good for nothing person, right? Evildoer, right? Transgressor, right? Sinner. So you don't want to be a sinner. You don't want to be a reprobate, right? You don't want someone with you don't want to be that brother or that sister with a reprobate mind, meaning, a mind of an infidel, right? Slok. Right? Verse 6. Verse 6 says, but I trust that ye shall know that we are not reprobates. Right? We're not reprobates, right? We're not of that reprobate mind, right? A reprobate mind is someone that whose mind has gone astray from the Lord, Now you're all bugged out, right? So examine yourself, right? Or you might just go ahead and be bugged out, right? So we got to be examining ourselves. Could be once a day, could be once a week, right? But you should be examining yourselves on either a daily or a weekly basis, basically, Alright, so this is just a quick reminder, right, of examining yourself. And I believe I got some more precepts, right, before I close out. Let's go to 1 Corinthians 11. Alright, 1 Corinthians 11 and verse 28. But let a man examine himself, and so let him eat of that bread and drink of that cup. So basically, this is talking about the Passover, right? We can also apply this to daily examining yourself. If you're not worthy to eat of Yahweh's body, of drinking of Yahweh's blood, right, which is all metaphorical. But if you're not worthy to do that, look, you got to examine yourselves. See if you're worthy to do that. You know what I'm saying? See if you are writing out your wrongs, you know? Hey, we should be doing that as a nation, you know? This doesn't help only us, but it also helps us push this truth, right? It helps us become a better Israelite, right? A man is more righteous than his neighbor, right? As the scriptures say. So, right? And let's go to I forgot the precept, but I got it over here, right? I got it over here. So let's see. Right. Oh, let's go to Sirach. Sirach, also known as Ecclesiasticus 37. And verse 27, right? It says, "My son, prove thy soul in thy life," right? Prove your soul, right? See what you are, right? And how you can improve, what things that you struggle with, right? And try to tackle those things down. Maybe you can write down your demons that you witness, or that you know that are inside of you. Ways to purge it out, you know, fasting and prayer, right? And see what is evil for it, and give not that onto it, right? Don't give yourself unto evil what you have seen through your examination. And examine, right? And examine is also like a test, you know. You can even test yourself too, right? You know, you can make your, you can test yourself like, okay, you know, like, all right, what year was King Solomon born? You know, stuff like that. Or what precept supports um, polygamy? Or what precepts support um, that Esau must go into slavery, right? So, you know, you can test yourself like that, right? And we know that examination is talking about, you know, examining yourself, you know, finding the things that you do wrong and stuff. But, you know, examine is a test, an assessment. You know, you can also assess yourself on these scriptures too, you know. Nothing wrong with that, right? That's how people learn, right? Well, with that, I'd like to give Kohala Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua. This is just a quick reminder, right? With that, I'd like to say Shalom Yasha Allah, right?